the Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to talk about the fifth Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. Officially recognised as the fifth Ghost Rider after Carter Slade, Johnny Blaze, Danny Ketch and Andreo Jones. When most people think of the Ghost Rider, you're obviously thinking of a flaming skulled bike rider. However, Robbie is a different kettle of fish when it comes to this. He has the flaming charger, and of course, his head's actually connected to his body. So, a very different take on the Ghost Rider. Robbie Reyes first appeared in 2014 as part of the all-new, all-different Marvel. Interesting moment at this time. They were bringing all sorts of new characters. Robbie was one of my personal favourites. He was created by Philip Smith and Trud Moore. Robbie was a high school student when the story starts, who also worked as a mechanic in his part-time. He was also the sole carer for his disabled brother Gabe. With gang ties going on and around the area, he was trying to basically rid himself of these ties. He entered into a street race with the idea being that once he had the money, he could get a better life for himself and Gabe. Unfortunately, the gangs had other ideas at the time, and he was gunned down in the car. You later find out that there were pills in the car that Robbie had stolen to use in the race, and the gang wanted these pills back. They actually helped transform people. They helped transform one gentleman into the Mr. Hyde-like monster. Everyone assumed Robbie was dead at this point, but the car itself and Robbie came back to life in a blaze of glory and was seen driving off down the street. Robbie wasn't really a spirit of vengeance to start with. He was slightly different. Most Ghost Riders are indeed the spirit of vengeance. His spirit was Eli Morrow. Originally, Eli told Robbie that he was killed by gang members and that he was out for revenge, but you find out that Eli is actually Robbie's estranged uncle, and Robbie actually murdered over... Sorry, not Robbie. Eli actually murdered over 307 people and was part of a satanic cult as their leader. And he's also the reason for Gabe being disabled, because he pushed Robbie's mum down the stairs while she was pregnant with him. Now, as this new Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze comes to visit Robbie. As you do, you've got to have a crossover with the original to launch the new hero. Now, sensing the evil as part of the spirit, Johnny actually performs a penance stare on Eli's spirit, basically trying to calm him down to help it make Robbie's life a bit easier. After an internal debate, Robbie agrees to bond permanently with Eli's spirit and retain, in return, fueling Eli's bloodlust, but the deal was you could only kill those who have been evil in the past. In doing so, Robbie had become officially the new Ghost Rider. Robbie Reyes in the Avengers. The Dark Celestials and the final host invaded Earth. Robbie joins the battle because, as you do, Earth's in danger. He uses Ghost Rider powers and he takes over the body of a dead Celestial, which is incredible. The heroes then join the forces with the current day Celestials and defeat the Dark Celestials. And in doing so, they reform the Avengers, with Robbie being one of them. He is at first a bit unsure of it, but as it goes on, he becomes a great member. Robbie goes to hell. Now, as a Ghost Rider, you're bound to go to hell at some point. Robbie experiences difficulties with the Hell Charger. It is no longer obeying him as he thought it should be, so he decides to perform an exorcism on the car, basically to get rid of Eli's spirit. And of course, everything goes wrong, and Robbie ends up in hell, where he again meets with Johnny Blaze. Now, Johnny at this point is actually the king of hell, and Johnny wants to take away Robbie's powers. So, after a bit of a debate, they decide to have a race. Basically, if Robbie wins, he'll become the new king of hell, and if Johnny wins, he'll take away his powers. They have their big race, and all the spirits of vengeance from the past basically want to help Robbie win, and of course he does. He becomes the new king of hell for a brief second, and he immediately hands the throne back to Johnny Blaze. Multiversal threats. So when the multiversal Masters of Evil, yep, that's a real thing, the Dark Phoenix, Doom Supreme, Kid Thanos, Norman Osborn, the Ghost Goblin, Black Skull, and which is basically the Red Skull Venom symbiote team up, it is called... Robbie and Deathlock are set the task of creating a multiversal team to stop them. The team picks up alternate versions of the Avengers, different versions of Iron Man, different versions of Ant-Man, the Carol Corps. It is a huge team. I think there's a Tony Stark Ant-Man at one point, which is quite cool. And they all do a huge battle across the multiverse. In this storyline, Robbie actually finds out that he is the All-Rider, meaning that his spirit can take over any inanimate object, any vehicle, anything, as he's seen taking over that Celestial at that point. Live action. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this version of Ghost Rider is played by Gabrielle Luna. Powers are very similar to the Ghost Rider. Now this version is quite cool, becomes a main theme of that series of the show. I feel he does a great job portraying Robbie in this series. I feel like they could have made him a lot stronger though. So Robbie's powers are very similar to all the other Ghost Riders. He's got superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability. His strength is actually on level with Thor and Captain Marvel, and of course he has his Hell Charger. The Hell Charger itself is self-driving, meaning that he can just call it into battle whenever he needs. And also in the boot is teleportation to Hell, which is pretty cool. And he eventually picks up Penance Stare. Originally he didn't have this, being as he wasn't a spirit of vengeance, but he somehow picks it up. In doing so, the first time he uses it, he accidentally kills Starbrand, which is a big flex if you ask me, because Starbrand is supposed to have the power to beat whoever he goes up against, whereas the Penance Stare just killed him outright. Of course, the Penance Stare is supposed to make you feel all the pain and suffering that you have put onto other people. Here's the chains and knives, and of course, he has the Devil's Fire. Personally, I would love to see Robbie back again. If they're going to do Ghost Rider in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, excluding Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. obviously, I would love to see Robbie being the Ghost Rider. You could always have Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch as characters in the background, but I think just going forward it would be cool to see him get a good proper live action go at it. And you've definitely got to have Nicolas Cage play Johnny Blaze just as a one-off cameo. Come on, guys. And there we have it, guys. That is Robbie Reyes, the Ghost Rider. Keen to see how he goes in the comics going forward. Currently, I think he is AWOL, so he's been written off, but he'll always come back. They always bring them back, so it'd be good to see him charging around in that Hell Charger again, bringing dead Celestials back to life for bigger, better battles. Well, if you like this video, let me know. If there's any other heroes, villains you want me to cover, let me know in the comments, or let me know your favourite Ghost Rider moments. Cheers.